I believe everyone has a story to tell. And I believe everyone deserves a little pampering. Welcome to Manis with Grannies. I'm your host, Tiffany Marino. Join me while I sit down with a woman over 70 and get to know her while giving her a manicure. Welcome to this episode of Manis with Grannies. Today, I am with Dot in her lovely home at the Suites at Rouse. Dot, thank you for having me here today.
Thank you.
I'm so excited to get to know you. How long have you lived here at the Suites at Rouse?
I think about 13 years.
Wow, that's quite a while.
That's too long. I didn't expect to be here that long.
How did you make the decision to move here?
Well, my husband died a long time, and I was living in a house by myself. And my kids said they couldn't trust me there. So we come down here, and I moved in.
How did you feel about the move at the time?
I didn't like it, but I knew it would probably be best because I was older and I didn't want to fall down the steps.
Do you like it now?
Yeah, it's all right. It's different. When I moved in here, it was altogether different people, and it was run altogether different.
Do you have some good friends here?
Yeah, I have quite a few friends.
What do you like about living here?
Not having to do much.
Did you grow up in Warren?
No, I grew up in Garland.
In Garland, PA?
Yes, it's the other side of Youngsville.
What was growing up like for you?
Well, I came from a family of 9.
Wow.
So I always had lots of things going on. And
where are you in the order of the 9?
next to the last.
Almost the baby.
Almost the baby. But I'm the only one left.
How does that feel?
Terrible.
You've had to live through a lot of loss in your life.
Yes.
What do you think about dealing with grief?
It's hard to do, but you have to do it.
How do you think you deal with grief?
Sometimes pretty good, and sometimes when I lost my husband, I didn't like that at all.
How long were you and your husband together?
55 years, I think. From 52 to 04. What was that make it?
I'll have to do the math later. 52 years. How did you and your husband meet?
We went to school together.
So did you meet in high school?
Yes.
Do you remember, did he ask you out?
Oh, yeah.
What was your first date like?
I can't remember. That was too many years ago.
Do you remember your wedding?
Oh, yes.
What was your wedding day like?
We were married in February, so there was snow. But it was very nice. We had a reception. Everybody enjoyed it.
How old were you when you got married?
Between 21 and 22.
Do you remember how you felt?
Very happy.
Did you have a honeymoon?
Yes, yes.
Where did you go for your honeymoon?
We went down to Washington, D.C. Well, he was in the Marines.
Did he have to go away at all during your marriage?
No,
For the Marines?
He was still in the service.
Mm-hmm.
But he was down in North Carolina most of the time.
So did you live in North Carolina?
No, I stayed home when he went.
So you lived separately for some of your time?
Yeah, from February until July.
How did that work out for you?
It was all right. He came home about every other weekend.
How many kids did you have?
3.
And what are their names?
Shelley, Pam, and Mike.
How old were you when you had your first daughter?
About 24.
How did that feel?
It was all right.
Do you remember finding out you were pregnant?
Yeah, it was a shock.
Do you remember telling your parents you were pregnant?
Oh, yeah.
How did they react?
Oh, my mother was happy. After all the kids she had, she thought it was great.
How many grandkids do you have?
I have 7 grandsons, 8 great-grandkids with 1 great-granddaughter.
How does it feel to be a grandmother and great-grandmother?
Oh, I enjoy it, except now they're all married and got their own kids, and the kids are in college, so I don't get to see them too much.
What were your parents like growing up?
My dad died when I was a junior in high school. He was very, very nice, but he smoked too much, and his lungs were bad. My mother was real good about making us behave and doing things for us. In fact, when I had my first child, she came down and stayed with me for a while.
That's very nice. These are beautiful rings you have on.
Thank you. Well, this belonged to my husband's aunt, and this belonged to my mother. This belonged to my husband's aunt, and this is my own.
How did you come to acquire your husband's aunt's rings?
Because he was the only nephew, so wasn't any question.
She didn't have kids of her own?
No. She didn't get married until she was 52. She was a school teacher.
Would you say that you were a good mother?
Well, I think I was. I don't know what my kids say.
What do you think makes a good mom?
That you make them behave, but you still love them.
How did you show your kids that you loved them?
By spoiling them.
What does that look like?
They usually got to do pretty much what they like to do.
What do you think is the hardest part about being a mother?
Have lots of money to take care of them.
Did you work while your kids were growing up?
I didn't work until Shelley was about 10, 12. And then I went to beauty school and started working.
And you became a hairstylist? How did that work out for you?
It worked out good.
How many years did you do hair?
About 20.
Where did you work?
I worked for myself. I worked for another lady for a while, and then she sold the business, so I bought it.
Did you have a salon, or was it out of your home?
I had a salon downtown.
What was the name of your salon?
Lauffenburgers. It's a long name.
You might have said this already, and I'm sorry, I can't remember. How long was it open?
I worked there for 20 years.
20 years. How did you decide to stop working there?
Well, because I got to be 62, and my husband was 62, and we decided we'd retire.
Did you sell the business at that point, or
Yes.
did you close?
No, I sold it.
How long did it stay open after you sold it?
I can't tell you for sure.
Okay. You didn't keep up on it?
No.
Going back to school and becoming a hairstylist at that point in your life and then buying a salon, it sounds like a big deal. How did you have the confidence to be able to go and do all of that?
I just felt that I could do it. I don't know. I've been to school and passed all the tests, so.
How did you choose cosmetology?
I always liked to work with hair, and I didn't do it until after my kids were grown up.
Did you like owning the salon?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Did you ever have any customers that you didn't like?
No.
You liked everyone that came in?
Well, Youngsville's a little town. They're all nice.
So you knew most of your clients?
Yes. I like my nails just about this length.
Okay. What was it about doing hair that you liked?
Oh, you got to talk to people and got to know them.
Was owning a business hard?
No, it wasn't hard.
What did your husband do for work?
He worked for the telephone company.
What did he do for them?
He was a lineman.
Lineman's a dangerous job.
Yeah.
Were you concerned about that at all?
No. He had lots of friends that he worked with.
How did the two of you come to decide that you were going to retire when you were 62?
We just knew that it was time to quit. We wanted to go traveling and stuff. And we went to Arizona for about 10 years. We had a house out there. We just went there winters.
Did you travel there and decide that you liked it and then move there?
Mm-hmm. Well, my husband had been in California and had been to Arizona. He liked Arizona.
What was it like making that transition?
It wasn't hard. We moved into a place where it was a trailer park, and everybody was very friendly, and we had a good time.
What did you like about living in Arizona?
It was nice and warm.
And then when did you move back to Pennsylvania?
When he got sick. But we were only there winters. We come home and he got sick. He'd had heart surgery twice.
How long ago did your husband pass away?
Oh, in '04, so that's about 18 years.
How's it been living without him?
It's been tough. I don't like it, but you have to accept it.
So I'm 40 years old. I'm approaching middle life. Do you have any life advice for me?
No, not really. Just be good to him and keep him around.
I think it's the other way around.
Oh, is that it?
He said he thinks it's the other way around. He needs to be good to me and keep me around.
Both ways.
Yeah. What do you think is the key to a happy marriage?
Being truthful for each other and helping each other out.
Would you say that you had a happy marriage?
Yes, very good.
What was it like raising 3 kids?
Well, it was tough at times, but you don't have a lot of money, why you can't do a lot of the things that you'd like to do.
Mm-hmm. How old are you?
93.
How does it feel to be 93 years old?
Old.
What does old feel like?
Old. I never thought I'd get this old.
Why do you say that?
Because all my family never lived this long. They lived up to maybe 80, and that was it.
What do you think about being 93?
I'm not in as good health as I'd like to be.
What do you miss from being younger?
Being able to do all the things I used to do, like cleaning, and of course I don't have to cook, and I don't have the ambition to do everything I want to do.
It's something that we don't like to talk about, but it's reality. You're toward the end of your life. Do you think about dying?
Oh, yeah. Some days I wish there was.
Why is that?
Oh, because I can't do what I used to be able to do.
What do you think of the afterlife?
Oh, I don't know. I'll be surprised, I think, about it.
Do you remember a time when you were happiest?
When I was younger and married and having the kids,
What was good about that time?
I could do things that I wanted to do, and the kids were all happy to be around.
Do you have a favorite holiday?
I guess Christmas, because we could all be together, and the kids always got presents. We did too, and my family all usually got together for Christmas.
Were there ever hard times in your marriage?
Oh, yeah, when we were first married, he was just getting out of the Marines, and I was working, but I wasn't making a lot of money.
How did you get through those hard times?
Just loving each other and hoping.
Do you have any advice for parents?
No, I think you have to do what you want to do.
Did you do any traveling other than going to Arizona?
My husband and I went down to Myrtle Beach and those places and golfed and did all that stuff.
Did you golf?
Yeah,
What did you like about golfing?
being out in the fresh air and walking, and
What else did you and your husband like to do together?
we like to go out and go dancing and things like that.
Tell me about your parents.
Well, my mother was a very strict woman. She came from a family of, I think she had 2 sisters. And then her mother and dad separated, and she got 2 stepbrothers. And my dad came from a family of 2 girls and 3 or 4 boys.
What color polish would you like?
I don't know. I don't want the red, I know that.
I have some blues and greens too.
Well, maybe the blue, if it's a light blue.
I'm not sure if I have a light blue. This is kind of, that's more like, I don't know, pistachio?
That's more like a gray or something.
Oh yeah, that is more gray. No, I don't have a light blue. The blues are all darker. I have a bright yellow.
No, I don't like clear. Well, what's that color clear in the
This
back?
here?
Yeah, let's try that.
Okay. We were talking about your parents.
Yeah, my dad was a bookkeeper, and he always had a good job.
Do your kids come to visit?
Once in a while. My son lives in Ohio, so he can't come too often. But he's getting ready to retire. He says, I'm going to be 62, I'm retiring. So he's retiring. And he adopted twin boys. They're both going to college this year. Not the same place.
What does it mean to you when they come to visit?
Oh, I enjoy it. It helps once they come and I get to see them.
What's the hardest part about getting older?
Not being able to do all the things you want to do.
How does that feel?
I don't like it because I was always used to being busy.
What do you want young people to know about getting older?
You do get older and you do miss a lot of things that you used to do. And you have friends that pass away way before their time.
Are you named after anyone?
No. Well, I guess I was named after a cousin that was a nun, and her name was Dorothy Jane. And I guess that's where my name came from.
How do you want your kids and grandkids and great-grandkids to remember you by?
I hope that I was good to them and loved them. You'll know after talking to me and talking to Martha that I don't talk as much as she does.
What do you think was the hardest part of your life?
When my husband died,
What helped you get through that time?
my family and kids, friends,
What did they do that helped?
oh, they were there with me and they did things for me. And
How do you spend your time?
well, I spend my time watching TV, laying on my computer.
Do you go on social media?
I go on Facebook.
What do you think of Facebook?
Some of it's all right. Some of it isn't. I just flip through it.
Do you have a favorite TV show?
No, not anymore. I used to watch my story, my Young and Restless story.
Okay, you're a young and restless lady.
Yes, yes.
Well, we're complete the manicure today.
They probably won't be painted again. When they first put the sign up, they said, well, they ask you lots of questions. I said, well, then I'm not signing up.
I'm glad you did.
Brian said, it isn't that bad, Dot. So I decided to sign up.
It wasn't too painful, was it?
No.
I'm glad you decided to do it. Dot, thank you so much for having me in your home today and for taking the time to talk to me.
Well, thank you. I enjoyed it.
Good. That's great. Me too. Thank you for listening to Mannies with Grannies. I hope you enjoyed learning about someone else and maybe even learned a little about yourself.